So, you know how some girls make like cool videos of like makeup tutorials and stuff? Turns out, I can't do makeup to save my life. So, you get this instead.
Okay, so before you watch the rest of this video, here's what you need to know. I recorded this video in January 2020, and now I am editing it in December 2020 because that's how I decided to live my life. So the March Disney Bound Challenge obviously is already over. I had already populated my database with birds. I no longer have the screen recording from January because I was cleaning out my computer and I deleted that before I realized that I liked this video and wanted to actually edit it. So I recorded the clips, and so I basically just kind of played the audio back while I was redoing all of the things. I had already added in all the birds, but I went ahead and I kind of temporarily removed them so that way I could kind of pretend like I was doing it as I was going. So the screen recordings kind of match, but definitely you can tell that the screen recordings were recorded at a different time than the audio because I don't 100% remember all of my actions in the same exact way. I'm rambling too much, so I'm going to stop now, but I just wanted to start off with that note, so enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, bye.
So anyways, I am planning for the March Disney Bound Challenge right now. And in case you don't know this, I have created a website called matchthemagic.com, which is basically a pocket guide reference for Disney bounders to help them get started planning Disney bounds. So I made this for myself, and hopefully it helps other people as well. Anyways, so day one, March Disney Bound Challenge is going to be Mickey and Friends. I don't really think I need to do anything on my website to kind of help with that. I think everyone basically knows Mickey and Friends. You got Mickey, Minnie, Daisy, Donald, Goofy, Max, Pluto, all those other good people. Okay, cool. So day two, Disney birds. Okay, cool. Let's see how Match the Magic can help me do Disney birds. Right, it can't. So let's fix that, right? Okay, so in order to do that, we're going to need to do three things. Step number one is we're going to need to actually populate my database with a list of all of the different Disney birds. Step two is we're going to need to create a little server piece that can pull information out of the database once it's there. And then step three is we will make a lovely little client piece, which is the piece that people interact with, which will display all of the information that the server helped us pull out of the database in a hopefully really cool looking, pretty aesthetic, but also most importantly helpful way to help me help you plan a Disney bird, Disney bound. Yeah. So to get started, let's see here, we will pull up SQL Pro. So SQL Pro is a tool that I use to connect to my database. And basically, so my database is hosted on AWS, but SQL Pro lets me log into my database, I guess, and then kind of see it in a easy, user-friendly interface. So you can see, I think I'm recording my screen now. You can see that I have all these different things. Some of them are useful, some of them are not. But I have all this list of characters, so you can see the first character I ever added was Snow White. And then the Queen, the Prince, Dopey, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And then I have a list of colors, white, pink, red, orange, yellow, blah, 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 blah. And then I have a relational database table called character colors, which basically takes a character ID. So for example, character ID number 1 is Snow White. And then it takes a color ID, so color ID number 3 is going to be red. Character colors? Yeah, so we've got 1 is Snow White, 3 is red. This is going to be the shade of red as a hex value. And then which outfit this is a part of, so this is part of her princess dress. How important is this? I set it as 1, which is my own kind of scale of a low importance because she has that little red headband, which is just a little bit of red, but not as important as, say, this one is probably, her skirt is yellow, and 3, so you'd probably want to have a lot more yellow in your outfit than red. Anyways, I don't know why I'm talking about this table because we want to talk about character types. So I already kind of set up a table to do that, so you can see it's got these really pretty numbers on it. But as you kind of saw with the character colors table, the first character is going to be your character ID, so it's got character ID number 1, which we already saw was Snow White, and then type 1, which I probably set as princess. So let's go look at the types, and so yeah, so type 1 is princess, and then we got villains, sidekicks, I guess, so you got like your Smee, Flotsam Jetsam, those kinds of people. I guess I did that. Dogs, cats, Mickey and Friends. Oh look, I did categorize that. Duffy and Friends, because that's another March Disney Mountain Challenge. And then birds. And then you can see over here, oh, I guess I already did that. Okay. Anyways, I have this other table called Finalized, which is just for my own sake, so that way I know that I've actually started to populate these. You can ignore that. So anyways, we have birds, and now we want to figure out how to actually populate this character types table to have some birds. So if we look at type ID, the birds was 9. I don't have any birds yet. So, we'll do the first one manually, and then we'll come up with a cooler way to do it. But just to give you an idea, so let's start with characters. So off the top of my head, a bird that just comes to mind is Yago. So I'm pretty sure I have Yago in here. Let's get characters. And we'll search by name, and I'm just going to go ahead and type Yago. And Yago is character 338. So we'll go to character types. No. Okay. And down here at the bottom, go ahead and add one. Ignore the ID. She was 388. Yeah, no, 338. My bad. Okay. 338 is type 9. Wow, this is exciting stuff. Okay, so now if I go to select star from character types, comma, types, comma, characters, where character types dot character ID equals characters dot character ID and character types. Oh my god, I didn't know SQL Pro did that!
I have no idea what SQL Pro did. I'm guessing it was autocomplete. Okay.
Dot type ID equals types dot ID and types dot ID equals 9. Boom. Run that. I really miss mode because mode, like, okay. Okay, characters dot character ID in where clause. Oh, my bad. That's just ID. Hey, that's my own fault. Okay, perfect. So now you can see. Let's make this better as well. So we'll do characters dot name and types dot category. Wow, I'm so good at this. Okay, so now you can see that Yago is the only bird. So we'll want to add a bunch more birds, but I don't want to do it the way that I just did it because that was not a fun way to do it and that would take me forever. So I'm going to get a little bit more comfortable and let's actually make a cooler way to do this.
Okay, so just to close this video out real quick, because I didn't do an outro or anything when I initially recorded it, I think my intention was that I was going to record myself building this fun little way of populating the database, and so I did ultimately build like a little front end piece that would display a character, and it would show like all of the different types, and then I could click on which type it would be, and then it would assign the type for me, and then automatically switch to the next character, so that way I could just kind of really quickly assign, and that would just kind of, as best as I could, get through like however many, like 400 or so characters that I had at the time. I think it ended up not being as cool as I had meant it to be. Also, I also found that like while I was trying to screen record and also record myself and talk about what I was doing as I was programming was kind of intimidating and definitely challenging. So I think that's probably ultimately why I never ended up finishing this video in January, because I actually do think it's really fun. But yeah, so I never did that, but I rewatching it now. I don't think I'm gonna go back and record it and pretend to do that again, because that would be a lot of work, and I don't think anyone would be interested in it. But I might make other programming videos if that is something that people are interested in. Like, so if, for example, I mentioned that there were kind of 3 pieces that needed to be done for this, which was populating the database, building a server, and then making the server piece, and then making the client piece. So maybe I could kind of touch a little bit on the server piece and the client piece, because obviously this video focused on populating the database. If that's something that people would be interested in, I don't know. But either way, I thought this was fun. I had a good time, so I'm stuck at home doing absolutely nothing else. So there you go. That is the end of this video. Bye.